that get your attention? Sounds a little interesting. What could this be? Well, you, my friend, have just been hooked. A hook is a storytelling technique that grabs the audience's attention. You're like, ooh, I really want to get into this. I really want to see what's going on here. Any storyteller uses a hook. It's the only way they're going to get their audience. Whether that be by book, by TV show, movie, maybe the little audio podcast things, they all require a hook. So does the news. The news has always required a hook in order to get its readers to actually want to read the news. The thing is, it's all a trap, and it's all a trick. Don't believe me? Alright, let's see how well you do. I'm going to give you some headlines. First headline, Dog Bites Man. Is this a story you want to read? A story that says dog bites man? No. Sounds boring. Why the heck would I want to read about that? It happens all the time. Next! Let's take those words, turn them around a little bit. Man bites dog. What? What do you mean a man bit a dog? That's abnormal. That's not something we would normally see. I want to read that story now. That headline has now hooked me. The little newspaper boys that used to sell newspapers way back in the day were very good at this technique. We're familiar with the little phrase, get extra, extra, read all about it. No. Those kids were way smarter than just yelling out extra all the time. If there's a really good story already in there, obviously they'd read that headline. You know, Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor or what have you, but the story was kind of boring, or the news was kind of boring that day. They'd flip through the paper, see how they could tweak one of the news story headlines to their own fashion, and yell about that. Well, when the individual walking by looks at the newspaper the kid is holding and sees that that's not the headline, they want to see what this story's about. So they tell him, well, you got to buy the newspaper, mister. It's on page wherever they found it. Oh, here you go, Sonny. Little, 2-3 cents, whatever it is, cost for a paper back then. Takes the newspaper, starts reading through it, finally gets to the story, probably went there first. Dead-gum kid, I wouldn't say anything like that. But it happens all the time. You constantly get hooked by these silly little things. That technique is yet to die, and it will never die, as long as a storyteller is around. Difference is, we've gotten really, really bad about not noticing it in the modern world. Here's some headlines for you. Just look at it. What if we wrote this story this way? Cop shoots pedestrian. Well, that's odd. I might read that. Cop shoots suspect. Yet don't care. Not reading that story. That sounds like an everyday normal thing. White cop kills black guy. Now I'm going to read the story. What the hey? All three of those headlines could have described recent events. All three. The guy was on foot. It was a cop doing the shooting. And the reason that the cop was involved at all is because the individual was a suspect. All three headlines could have worked. Which one did we go with? The one that hooked you. The one we knew you would pick up that story to read. There are several other stories that we could have written. White cop kills white guy. Ho-hum. Black guy kills other black guy. I wonder what's on TV right now. Black cop kills black guy. I could really go for some chicken, maybe some wings. Cop kills innocent bystander. Boom! What in the world is that? Another hook. It's the stories that we want to tell that gets told. And if we don't want the story told, you didn't know it happened at all. If you dig far enough, you can find anything you want as far as a story is concerned. For instance, around the same time as our poor incident where a mostly innocent black guy, I mean, they still believe that he was committing a crime. Now, obviously, not the crime that justified the kind of punishment he got, getting snuffed out like that. But at the same time, another police killing happened. A white cop puts his knee on the back of another white guy's neck for a long period of time, manages to suffocate him too. Did you hear about it? It happened. But it wasn't reported in the big news because it's not that interesting. It doesn't sell the story we want told about how corrupt the cops are or how evil they are. I mean, that story could have probably done the same thing if we wanted to go for corrupt cops. That's not the story that wants to be told. The story that people want told is how racist cops are. But it's not just that. That isn't the only story out there to look at. Go over the past 3 years. Pick a headline. You can have the headlines about how former members of Trump's cabinet or election campaign or what have you speak out against Trump. Oh gosh, what did they say? And the first part of the story, first paragraph or two, is about how evil Trump is and how he colluded with the Russians or the whoever we're picking today. Ukraine. Go down. Skip all the rest of that. Skip to the rest of the story. Go down to the very bottom. Almost every single story you're going to read at the very last paragraph. Now some might have it a paragraph or two above that. But the very last tail end of it, by the time you're bored reading it, says no evidence has actually been correlated to determine this actually happened. Oopsies! Probably should have led with that if we wanted to tell a true story. But that's not what the news is about. It's about telling a story. Nobody said anything about it having to be truthful.